Hello YouTube and welcome back to game number 2 between our two nations, Poland and Korea. This is going to be a Protoss versus Terran on Lerilak Crest. Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void is our expansion, and let's see how this one plays out. Now, a quick introduction to our players, and before we do that, actually, if you haven't seen the previous game, I do recommend clicking the link to it on the description, or in the description rather, and basically just watching the first game so you don't miss out anything. And our question of the series, of course, is who is your favorite StarCraft 2 player? I will remind you of that by the end of the game as well, just in case you don't want to type right now. So, on the top right hand side here we have INnoVation spawning as the blue Terran, and he's representing SK Telecom T1 and Korea. And it does appear like he's starting off with quite a usual start. We see this pretty much in every game, a barracks and a refinery. His opponent is going to be no other than Liquid MaNa, who is representing both Team Liquid and Poland. So let's see how this one plays out. Looks like he's gone to scout out in the incorrect direction, which is not too bad of a problem because, of course, INnoVation has scouted out in the wrong direction also. It does look like MaNa has decided to go for his expansion pretty much straight away. So that is quite good for him, of course. Gonna have that economic advantage at the very beginning. Or at least he'll be very similar if INnoVation decides to use his energy on his orbital commands to scan rather than build, what are they called? Mules. So yeah, at this point, MaNa is going to be aware that there's only one place INnoVation could be left. And of course, it seems this way that, I suppose maybe it just happens to me anyways, my luck is like that, that every time I play on a 4-player map, I scout out in the wrong direction, because RNG, that's why. Well, not really RNG, but, you know, just bad luck, pretty much. So let's see how the builds are going to progress here. Looks like a one cybernetic core after one gateway, which is actually fine. It does appear that he might be building a bit of tech because he doesn't actually have another gateway, and he has 2 gases. So I wonder if he's going to put any sort of sneaky buildings down, for example a Stargate, because it really is looking like that right now. I mean, he's got no other gateways on the way, and he's got gas being stacked up right now. So what is he going to do? Oh, actually going for a robotics facility straight out the bat. So that's actually okay. Deciding to go for the heavier units rather than some cheese. Well, I wouldn't really consider Stargate cheese. I mean, it's quite standard to have it off. Or to have it up at this time. And quite often, if you do go for a Stargate, I mean, you'd expect to see the Oracle at about 4 minutes. And that would be quite a standard, you know, decent time to see it. And of course, you want to have missile turrets up at that point, just as a precaution. Looks like INnoVation going for his own build here, quite standard, going for the Destiny Cloud Fist 111 build, which is actually fine. I think he does have a Cyclone on the way, which is essentially going to counter any sort of air if, of course, Liquid MaNa was going for it. Doesn't appear like he's interested, however. 4 Marines here. 2 probes have been sniped out. So at this point, I would say Marines have pretty much paid off for themselves. Not literally a, you know, paid off mineral for mineral, but they have made it worth it. Ah, yeah, there we go. The Adept getting taken out definitely 100% makes that worthy of a trade. So Cyclone is now on the field. Of course, that is going to be in position to defend. Actually, I forgot to bring up the scores, by the way. So the current score is actually INnoVation 1. Korea 1, Poland 0. Oh, Cyclone catching out the Warp Prism here. And I do believe this Warp Prism is, or this Cyclone is going to be in a little bit of trouble. If he's not careful, of course, the Warp Prism can't get too close because the lock-on ability will be able to lock on again at this point. And that would not end well for this little Warp Prism. Now he swapped out some units. What does he have in there? It looks like, oh, I wonder, is he going to bring the sentries into the main base and then block out the units. Does look like a Liberator is here. Oh no! The lock-on ability with the Cyclone. Is he going to catch out that Cyclone? No, manages to lose the War Prism. That's a huge blow for him right now. He's not going to be able to continue on with this. Siege Tank is in position to defend off against this. Looks like there's an Adept here trying to do a bit of damage. Didn't quite manage to kill anything, I think. Yeah, he didn't actually kill any SCVs, so that's not a significant drop at all. Nothing done so far. Looks like a few Stalkers here as well. What is being produced here? Looks like a command center is being created as well for INnoVation. So he's not really thinking that this is going to end right now. He's obviously expecting this to move on or to go on for just a little while. And let's see what he does. It does appear like, I think that was an actual observer getting taken out there. It's a nice positioning for the defender circle actually. Very nice defense position here. It pretty much prevents any units going around like that. Then again, they wouldn't really... I don't think they would actually go specifically like that. Maybe like this would be a little bit better. That these units just being a little bit menacing. In terms of army supply, it does look like INnoVation's a little bit ahead. And I think he would be able to hold off against this quite handily. I don't think there's absolutely anything to be worried about here. And wow, okay, so we've got 4 Adepts in this War Prism. Is he going to do something with it? There is a few missile turrets going down. I've seen another one going down somewhere. Actually right here. Oh, he's going to bring all of his units in like this. Oh, this came down at just a perfect time to basically prevent this from being a little bit more effective. And actually, yeah, he's bringing all of his units in here. This pretty much is actually quite effective simply because he just doesn't want to engage the siege tanks straight up. Now Defender Circle is going down. This is a bit of a tense moment for him. Oh my god, he's losing so many units. The Adepts are doing a lot of work in the mineral line though, however. So I think that at this point, probably a worthy trade. There's so much economic damage being done here right now. He's wiped out pretty much the full mineral line. 14 total SCVs and also just a little bit of damage going off there as well. 15 SCVs now at this point and loading his units on away. Now, Liberators are not great against War Prism. They take a lot of hits to actually kill them. So this War Prism probably going to be safe to get back to base. What's actually inside it? Looks like 3 Stalkers and 2 Sentries. And oh wow, look at that. There's 2 starboards on the way for MaNa. So I wonder what he's going to make out of those. It's not going to be Void Rays because they're not really that popular these days. Could very well be Phoenixes. That would make sense because he can lift off siege tanks if he does that again. So basically bring his units around here, and then while the siege tanks are traveling or pretty much moving, they can actually be lifted off while siege as well. You can just lift them off and basically prevent any damage from going down. So army supply is favoring INnoVation still. Worker supply favoring MaNa. So the trade-off was economy for attacking units. He's actually got so many drones here, or probes rather. Again, I tend to call them all 3 names, so drone, probe, or SCV, whatever you prefer, just call them that. Whatever I'm looking at is what I'm talking about, in most cases. So a bit of passiveness here from both of our players. Now I wonder why the Mothership Core is here. I mean, it's not a particularly strong attacking unit unless he plans on bringing a probe with it and then just build a bunch of pylons and overcharge them. But that's something you would do a lot earlier in the game. Probably around the 4 or 5 minute mark, maybe a bit earlier. Upgrades are about to complete for the Terran player INnoVation, so I think he's going to be in a prime position once that goes down. Definitely not going to be a great time for MaNa to actually start off. Now look at all these siege tanks. There's so many siege tanks here. That is a total of 7 siege tanks. I think pretty much everything would get held off with those. I mean, you'd need a lot of units to break through 7 siege tanks with Marines in the front to just soak up some of that damage. And look at that. They're all being annoying as well with their medevac drops. Now I really have to look into that map, which is currently being trialed out by Blizzard to basically test out the balance of nerfing adepts, and I think they were saying something about doing something to siege tanks as well. I don't really know what, but oh, look at that, 3 of the siege tanks, 4 of the siege tanks getting lifted up, 5 even getting lifting up, 6th one getting taken out. So much of the damage being denied, but at the same time, is there enough units here for MaNa? I don't think so. All of his units getting cleaned up right now, and looks like INnoVation is just interested in just steamrolling straight into his base right now. I think that he just does not have enough units to actually deal with this. And how is this going to play out? Look at all these units just streaming in here. Siege tanks in the back. Honestly, I don't see this happening for MaNa right now. There's nothing to defend up against this. And GG has been called. INnoVation takes game number 2, bringing the series at 2 points for Korea and 0 for Poland. Okay, and that's pretty much that for game number 2 of our first semi-final between Poland and Korea. Hope you've enjoyed this. Of course, leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have enjoyed this and want to see more. And a question of the series, of course, is who's your favorite StarCraft 2 player? If you want to say why, of course, you're very welcome to. Mine is probably TLO/Huck. Both of them are really good players that I enjoy watching. See you guys in the next video. Take care of yourself, good luck, and have a good day.